Okay, let me start up by saying that this is probably not something you should do. Cliché, I know, but this is some serious stuff that we're about to delve into. I am well aware that this warning will probably do little to sway you. I mean, let's be honest. If anything, it'll probably only motivate you further. At the end of the day, you're going to do whatever it is you're going to do. There is not much I can do to stop you. Just know that whatever happens, the risk is on you, not me. You see, I possess the knowledge of being able to contact these entities. Now, what exactly these things are or what intentions they may have, I can only speculate at, though I do have my theories. I call them the forces beyond, simply for lack of a better name. What you may come to know them as may be completely different depending on your experience. Demons, angels, aliens, Cthulhu, who knows? All options are equally viable, I suppose. The following is a sort of ritual in which you can contact these things. Do so at your own discretion, and a curse of extreme caution. The ritual is not like others. It is actually more akin to a series of mental trials. By accomplishing all these trials, you will be able to connect with yourself on a level you probably never experienced before. Your desires, ambitions, memories, and past will all become crystal clear to you. By entering this state of mind, you alter the frequency of your brain's wavelengths, thus allowing communication and connection to a higher plane. The method induces a sort of trance-like state to allow the mind to roam free on the astral planes. Think of it as logging yourself into Wi-Fi of the universe, the cosmic web of consciousness which exists and circulates through all sentient life. Earthly senses cloud our connection to the metaphysical, and in order to connect with those in the spiritual dimension, these binds must be temporarily severed. A stable mind and solid resolve are a must for this task, as connection is a two-way street. Those who are weak-minded or blinded by ideological persuasion need not apply. Despite your level of intellect, it's fair to assume that the intelligence and wisdom of these beings vastly outcategorizes our own. These things are old and very powerful, so as to hopefully prevent you from doing something you regret on a universal scale. Allow me to give you a few tips before we begin. 1. Never insult nor threaten these beings. I've never personally tried this, but spitting vitriol to an entity capable of transcending time and space seems like a really bad idea to me. If you care nothing for the horrible repercussions that may ensue, then I suppose I cannot stop you from doing what you will. 2. Never ask these beings for an answer to some forbidden knowledge, unless you are truly prepared for the truth. Topics like the meaning of life and presence of God should be left out of the conversation. Anything in which humanity has not discovered concrete evidence for should be labeled as taboo. However, don't take this as a mean that these things do not know the answer. They may in fact prove to know the answer to all of your questions, and indeed be willing to provide answers. They may also just outright lie to you, and you would really have no way of knowing the difference. If you think yourself prepared for the consequences, then ask as you will. 3. Please, for the love of humanity, do not ask these beings to influence an event or alter the outcome of something in our world. Doing so could result in unimaginable horrors for all of us. These things may be able to communicate, but that does not mean they can locate our world in the physical reality, unless they are given an invitation. Don't be their puppet, and do not invite in that which you have no hope of controlling. And finally, number 4. Do not blame me for anything that may happen to you. If you choose to perform this ritual, You do so of your own volition and at your own risk. No one is forcing you. In fact, I would like to reiterate that doing this is not exactly a wise decision. Any number of terrible things could occur because of your actions, and I cannot be blamed for that. I believe in the freedom of information and preservation of knowledge no matter how volatile. That is why I've decided to share this, in the hopes that it will be cataloged so that it is not forgotten by the world. Those are a few of the best tips that I can think of, but it will not guarantee your safety. Just be careful whatever you do. If you wish for your mental sanity to remain intact, this is the best advice that I can give you. Whatever else may happen is completely up to speculation. And so, without further ado, let's begin. Unlike most rituals, you need no special mediums nor sacred tomes for this ritual. You don't need to travel to any graveyard, nor chant any ancient Ecologian incantations. You need only your mind, and the power is contained within. That and a single item of your choice. This item can be anything, but should be something which holds a great personal significance to you. A book, photo, or old childhood stuffed animal are some of the most common choices. This item is to be your anchor. It will tether you to the physical world. We don't want you getting lost after all. To begin the process, I suggest that you find somewhere comfortable, such as your bed or a couch, anywhere that's comfy and familiar to you. It also would behoove you to find a quiet place where you are able to easily focus and avoid earthly distractions. If you have access to a sensory deprivation tank, that may prove the best means of meditation. Keep all the electronics deactivated and unable to interrupt the process. I would also advise that you tell someone close by what you are trying to do, just in case of any complications that may arise. I suggest that they remain by your side in the event of something going wrong. Lay back in your place of choice and cradle the item you have chosen on your chest. Close your eyes. Remain laying down with your eyes closed and let your mind wander. Relax and let your imagination take hold. Begin by laying and putting yourself into a deeply relaxed state. It is important that you remain motionless for this entire process, which may be the most difficult part. It is recommended that you practice this process first, to be able to more easily perform it. It is also important that you remain conscious and fully cognizant, so no stimulant narcotics allowed. After laying motionless for extended periods of time, you will notice that it does get easier with the more experience you have. Once you are comfortable and confident in your ability to remain motionless, focus on your mind. Sit back and just try to think of nothing in particular. Usually for me, I begin to picture space and the cosmos. I found this is the easiest method to lose yourself in thought. Allow your imagination to take hold. Watch as galaxies and supernovas dance within the confines of your mind. Stars and other celestial bodies zoom past you at impossible speeds. The magnificent cosmic canvas glows with beautiful shades of red and white, burning beacons. Once you are good and lost in your thoughts, proceed. I want you to now picture yourself as seen only through your eyes. Open yourself up and expose all of your flaws to your mind. Think upon your fear. Think of what it is that you fear the most, and attempt to conjure a solid image in your thoughts. Whether it be a person, place, idea, whatever it is that absolutely petrifies you to the core. Think deeply upon it and let it form within the blackened void of your mind. Focus all of your mind on what it is you fear the most, and then abandon it. Convince yourself that what you fear is nothing more than a construct of your mind. Your fear holds you back, and in order to progress, it is necessary that you let your fears go and overcome them. Shed your fears and tell yourself that fear is nothing but a burden which prevents you from attaining what it is that you truly desire. Once you feel confident in your power over fear, you may proceed. Next, you must envision all of your guilt, all of your shortcomings and all of your failures. I never said any of these things would be easy. It may in fact prove to be quite painful to willingly remember all of your failures, but it is crucial to your success. Focus upon that in which you feel the guiltiest of, the thing that weighs heavy on your mind late at night. Once you have envisioned your guilt, realize that you are human and cannot ever attain perfection no matter how hard you try. You are bound to make mistakes, but these choices and missteps do not define you. Accept the reality that things happen that are out of your control, and do not allow them to poison your mind. Your guilt is nothing more than your mind dwelling upon that in which it has little control over. Guilt is a crippling burden, because as long as you hold on to it, it prevents you from learning and growing. Let all of your guilt go and allow yourself to be freed from the constraints you place upon yourself. Forgive yourself for the things that you have done, and for the things that you have not. The third step is admittedly similar to the second, yet distinct. You must now focus on all that you are ashamed of, the things that you have done, and the person that you are. All of your flaws and all that you hide away, let them manifest themselves in your mind. Think upon the person that you are, the traits which make you unique, which you may not always be proud of. Accept yourself for who you are, and realize that the only way to achieve peace of mind is to be comfortable with yourself. Your mistakes and flaws are what has molded you into the person you are. View these things as the building blocks for your psyche and personality, for without them, you would not be the same. Acquiring balance of your emotions is key to succeeding in this trial. The next portion focuses on grief. The loss and heartache that you suffer in this life clings to you like a parasite. It will randomly reveal itself and toy with your emotions out of nowhere. Grief is most commonly associated with love. When something or someone you love is taken from you, grief fills the void left by that presence. Grief weighs you down and distracts you from being able to move on. Focus on all the despair that you carry within and allow it to dissipate. The love you feel within cannot be broken. Even if the things you love disappear, they do not truly die so long as your love remains. What was lost will be reborn in the form of new love. Dwell on your love and allow grief and sorrow to flow away. By this point, you should find yourself within a very deep state of mental reflection. The energy from these memories and emotions can be painful. It is important that you are in a strong state of mind, especially going forward from here. This is where most will choose to abandon the ritual, as the following steps have proven to be the most difficult. While you lie there in your meditative state, focus your mind on the concept of truth. Truth has become a rarity in the world that we live in, and in order to find truth, we must reveal lies. Think upon the lies in which you yourself are guilty of, the lies that you tell yourself, and the lies that you tell others. Realize that these lies do nothing but mislead and create illusions, perversions of reality. Lies are counterproductive to growth, for as long as you lie to yourself, you cannot attain peace within, and you cannot grow. You may be able to lie to the world for a time, but you cannot lie to yourself. All lies eventually unravel, and the decisions you make and the lies you tell will sculpt the way the world sees you. Reflect upon your lies and denials and allow yourself to embrace the truth. Next, you must focus on the greatest illusion of this world, the illusion of separation. Love and hate, light and dark, good and evil, life and death. All these things may seem to be polar opposites, yet they are a part of a single whole. Varying degrees of being within the same margin, and dualities within a singularity. For nothing is an absolute, and all things exist within a spectrum. Realize that indeed nothing is altogether isolated. By virtue of mere existence, all things are connected by the tendrils of fate. Ponder these separations and allow yourself to come to grips with the fact that all things are intertwined. Nothing is individual. The things you yourself do affect those in ways that you may never know. And without you, the world would be a very different place. Realize your place within the world and gain insight into how different the world would truly be with your absence. Allow your consciousness to reach out. The last step within this ritual is undoubtedly the most difficult, but you should be able to overcome it. You will be able to access thoughts within a higher realm of existence, able to control your thoughts and emotions, and able to see the effects of your actions firsthand. Focus upon that in which you hold dear, the things that you care most about within the materialistic world. Envision these things within your mind and allow yourself to be consumed by their essence. To surpass this trial, you must let go of all that you've grown to love. Recognize that no matter how much you love something, it will eventually cease to be. For all things are mortal, and none of us can supersede the passage of time. We are all doomed to a finite existence, at least in the physical sense. You must realize that no matter how much love you have, you cannot save those around you, nor yourself. This is the ultimate level of awareness, realizing just how small and vulnerable you truly are. Meditate upon the things you love, and let them go. Do not allow yourself to be fooled that by letting go of something means it will disappear. By letting go of something, you set it free, and in turn your mind will be liberated from the obsession of the things that you love. Assuming that you can correctly execute and complete all of these trials, you will have reached your destination. Congratulations. This world is not a physical one, yet one you can only reach out within the deepest recesses of your mind. Ego death and ascendancy. It is a place constructed by the innumerable consciousness of uncounted other beings. All living things contribute to it, whether they know it or not. I call this place the Dreamscape. There is really nothing I can say to accurately describe it, as there is truly no place like it. It's somewhere between the line of life and death, a purgatory if you will. You are not dead, nor are you entirely alive. You have simply transcended beyond those concepts entirely. You do not sleep, yet you are not fully awake. You can see this place clearly, but its image and landscapes seem to alter regularly before your very mind. This place will seem alien in nature to you, yet comforting as well. It may seem too grand and monumental to be possible, but it is. Because you and others like you have envisioned it. The law of attraction and equilibrium of the mind. This place is a threshold, a place where one can access the consciousness which surrounds every sentient life form in the universe, living or dead. It is here in which you will find the presence of the aforementioned forces beyond. You need not call out to them, for they will find you, so long as you're ready and willing to communicate. Enjoy your stay, but do not remain for too long, lest you risk becoming lost. What happens next cannot be foretold here, for I cannot accurately predict what exactly will transpire. Your interactions will solely be up to you and them. I have given you all the information that I can on the subject. If you wish to know more, then you know what to do. Again, I must emphasize one last time that if you are weak-minded, disturbed or otherwise mentally unstable, then this process is not for you. Trust me, you will not enjoy the results if you are not prepared. For those of you who are thrill seekers and knowledge addicts, you have the tools to begin your journey. Good luck and may you find the answers that you have been searching for.